Hello everybody, welcome to my channel. So today we'll be creating a project for beginners. This one will be our interactive quiz. Here you ask the user, you create a program, write a code, ask some questions in the code, store the answers in the code. Then the code will ask the user the questions, the answer to the questions, and if the user gets it correctly, it prints correct. Then at the end of the quiz, the program will print the user score. Yeah, so let's start by creating a file. Let's name a file quiz.py. Then we have a file quiz.py. So first of all, to start this game, I want to welcome the user to the game. So I want to print welcome to my quiz. So I want to welcome the user first to my quiz. Then I want to ask the user if he or she is ready. So let's put a variable named ready. In it, I will have an input. I will ask the user to input. Ask user a question ask user if he or she is ready. Are you ready? Ready for the quiz? Then I will enter an if statement if the user enters yes. If the user is ready, if ready is equal to yes, then I will have to print let's get started. Then I will print let's get started. Then else, has it been the user said no that he or she is not ready? I have to quit. So I will have else quit. So let's run this first. For proper understanding, so item 3 quiz.py. So are you ready for the quiz? Yes. Let's get started. So let me say no. Let me enter no. Are you ready for the quiz? No. You can see we didn't print. Let's get started. So since we are ready, let's continue. So let me run this code again. I want to show you guys something. I did bring the user type capital yes without, because what I entered was yes in lowercase. You can see it didn't put let's get started. So in order to avoid this, you have to introduce this function .lower. So here, this will convert whatever the user inputs, it will convert it to lowercase. So just lower to convert whatever the user inputs to lowercase. So when we run this code again, are you ready for the quiz? So your enter capital letter is printed. Let's get started. Yeah, so whatever user inputs, it will just automatically convert it to lowercase. Let's clear this. Let's open our file. Let's start. So to get started with this, first of all, I told you guys that when the user gets a question correct, that when you get a question correct, your score should be adding to get. So, and I want at the end of the quiz, I'll print that the user got this so numbers correct and failed to so numbers. Okay, so what I want to do now, I have to put a variable first. Let's name our first variable. I have correct. Let's name it correct. I set it to 0, then failed. Because the user hasn't answered anything, so all will be set to 0. Then let's go back to question 1. Question 1 equal to input. So I want to ask the user the color of what is the color of grass. Well, we all know that the color of grass is green. So let me ask the user what is the color of grass. So wait. And if enter that if statement, if the answer to question 1 is equal to green, then first of all, let me add the function .lower. because my green is in lowercase. Okay, so that whatever the user inputs, it will convert it to lowercase. So if the answer the user imputed is green, then correct will be incremented by 1. So anyway, correct plus equal to 1. Then else, I didn't mean you maybe the user failed the answer, you answered something else, maybe said user imputed red. Failed will be incremented by 1. So failed plus equal to 1. Then as the user the second question, you repeat the same thing. You want to answer the second question. For me to do this, let me just copy, to make this easy. Let me just copy this. Copy this, what I have here. I want to copy this, and paste it here. And paste it here. I have a lot of editings to do because Ubuntu will copy both the numbers, the line numbers, to copy it and paste for you. So I want this to be question 2. You can even leave it at question 1, but let's make it question 2 for easy understanding. So if I want the question 2 to be Nigeria is in which continent? So that's what I want it to be. So I want to ask the user Nigeria is in which continent? I want to ask the user, and if the user enters Africa, it's correct. Then let's change this to question 2. Then let's go and remove the line numbers. That's one thing with using Ubuntu. Then copy everything. Then let's remove this too. Then remove this. Then let me copy it again. I want to ask 3 questions. So let me paste again. Paste again. Paste. So I want to ask the third question. The third question, I want to ask the user question 3. So I want to ask, let me delete this. Let me delete these numbers. These 9 numbers. Delete these 9 numbers. Delete these 9 numbers. Then let me change this to question 3. So I want to ask the user, what will I ask now? Okay, let's say we all know that water is colorless. So I want to ask, say, what is the color of water? We know it's colorless. So let me write colorless. So now I want to ask the user, what is the color of water? Lower and dot lower. And we all know it's colorless. So if the answer, if the user gets it correctly, it increments by 1. So now let me now, and I want to print a statement that will show display to the user what the numbers she got correctly and the numbers she failed. So print, using a formatted string, print you got if you want to understand it better, I hope if you watch my previous videos, you see how where I taught formatting of string. So I don't think this should be hard for anyone that has watched my video. So you got this correct, and failed failed. Then we close. Then I want to print the user's percentage. So let's put a variable. Let's name a variable percentage equal to, or let's say percent equal to the percent will be the correct numbers the user got correctly over the total number of questions asked. So it should now be, let's open a bracket for it, correct divided by 3. I asked a total number of 3 questions times 100. Then I now want to print the percentage. Print percentage equal to percent 10%. We close. Then let's run our code. See if it does any error. So let's run our code. I've done 3 quiz so far. Are you ready for the quiz? Yes. Let's get started. What is the color of grass? I should have added a question mark. So green. Nigeria is in which continent? Africa. The color of water is colorless. And see, you got through correct field 0. I didn't add a space. Here and here. And I didn't add a question mark here. We're not gonna add it so that our code will look good. We're gonna add it. Ubuntu, you can't even move the cursor with your mouse. You must use the arrow keys. So let me show. At least our code will look very, very good. Look very neat. Yes. And here, got this. Correct. So let's now run our code. Then, are you ready for the quiz? Yes. What is the color of grass? Green. In which continent? Let me write something else. Let me just fill one. What is the color of water? The color of water is colorless. Colorless. So you got to correct and filled 1. Percentage is 6 points. It's calculated my percentage. So had it been let's run the code again. When the code asked me if I'm ready for my quiz, had it been I answered me, you can see it didn't go further to ask me any question. So this is it. You can try this code out on your own. You can ask as many questions as you want. This is for beginners. There are other complex ways of doing this, using class, there are other complex ways of doing this. But as a beginner, I think a beginner should learn this first before solving the complex ones. So please, if you love my video, if you're happy with what you watch, just subscribe to my channel, and thank you for doing that. Have a